So let's take a look at loving kindness, a mindfulness practice which includes both compassion for oneself and compassion for others. Along with attention or awareness, the quality of compassion is one of the central pillars of mindfulness practice. Loving kindness is intricately woven into mindfulness. In fact, mindfulness could quite accurately be defined as compassionate attention or compassionate awareness. Removing compassion from mindfulness would be akin to removing wetness from water. It simply cannot be done. So loving kindness or compassion is the glue which holds all of our mindfulness practice together, because greater compassion for both ourselves and others is the most revolutionary and transforming reward we can offer ourselves. With compassion, we can undo our long-held habits and approach our own suffering and that of others with a more generous, more open, more tender, more receptive, more patient, more tolerant, more empathic heart. If we are able to be kind to ourselves, then there is no obstacle to opening our hearts and minds to others. When we stop judging and begin to accept ourselves for who we are, we can begin the process of accepting others for who they are. That process begins with self-acceptance and opens a pathway to empathy and compassion for all beings. Along the way, we have the opportunity to learn about the true nature of friendship, love, acceptance and forgiveness. And this is all solidly based on scientific evidence. Time after time, scientific research has shown that cultivating self-compassion leads to greater feelings of well-being. As well as boosting self-compassion, mindfulness practice makes us more likely to help someone in need and increases activity in neural networks involved in understanding the suffering of others and responding appropriately. Leading authorities on self-compassion have shown that self-compassion is more beneficial than self-esteem to our psychological well-being. Self-compassion cultivates greater emotional resilience, more accurate self-concepts, more caring relationship behaviour, as well as less narcissism and reactive anger. When we're compassionate, when we experience loving kindness, when we see how interconnected we all are, we are able to see that every one of us shares the same wish to be healthy and content, to be in touch with our wholeness, to transcend fear and despair. And we see that our own stories are always intrinsically interwoven with those of others. We do not need to feel alienated and disconnected. We do not live in isolation after all. The clothes we wear, the food we eat, the appliances we rely upon. As Martin Luther King once said, before we even walk out of our door in the morning, we are already indebted to half of the world. Living with more compassionate awareness, it becomes easier for us to unhook ourselves from past slights, real and imagined, so that we are able to devote more time and energy to what is truly nourishing and worthwhile in life. In effect, we make a conscious choice to end suffering rather than prolong suffering. We learn to stop feeding the voices of disdain, judgment, blame and mistrust. Put simply, loving kindness is a strong wish to allow love, generosity, contentment, understanding, forgiveness, peace, and ease of being into one's life, and to wish the same for others. It is a gentle and balanced commitment to kindness and openness. With loving kindness, we may open to the idea that the displeasing behaviour of others is rooted in their own pain and unsated desires. If we can stop the knee-jerk reaction of judging another, we can look deeper into their situation, or at least realise they have their reasons, no matter how unreasonable they appear to be. We may even come to think that if we'd had their DNA and their same life experiences, That may have been the way we would behave in that situation. To do this is not to be passive, nor does it excuse bad behaviour or suggest we should allow the unallowable. It is simply introducing less judgment and more compassion into your everyday life. The first winner in this situation is you.